Namaste. Hello, I am Archana and this is Archana 360 degrees. A quick note before I start today's video topic. Video 3 looked different. काफ़ी लोगों ने मुझे फ़ोन करके बोला और कमेंट्स में भी लिखा that it was a good professional editing, graphics, captions, very well. Video 3 जो आया आपके सामने it was because of a help from a friend from my old days, a agency friend who told me that Archana, it is a one-time help I can give you to do editing for your video. And I said yes because it was the framework description which actually needed a good editing. So I said yes. But this is a raw channel, real, unfiltered. So we start with today the strategy. Strategy, but not the business school strategy, not corporate playbook strategy. Strategy when you have nothing. And I'm going to share this through a lens that might surprise you. What? The Hanuman Chalisa. Hanuman Chalisa taught me when 30 years of my corporate journey paused in my life. बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेश विकार. Means knowing myself to be without intelligence. I remember you, son of the wind. Grant me strength, grant me wisdom and knowledge. Remove all my afflictions. This is the opening of the Hanuman Chalisa. And for 730 days, every morning, I recited Hanuman Chalisa. Good days or bad days. Days with hope, days with darkness. Every morning, यह प्रेयर मेरे घर में चलती है क्योंकि मैंने एलेक्सा को इंस्ट्रक्शंस दे रखी है. नो मैटर व्हाट हैपेंस, यह प्रेयर ऑन रहे. प्रेयर कब नहीं बजती? अगर मेरा इंटरनेट का बिल पेड नहीं है तो. बट मोर और लेस हनुमान चालीसा मुझे बचपन से याद है. सो एलेक्सा नहीं भी प्ले करती तो हनुमान चालीसा इज पार्ट ऑफ माई डेली लिविंग. नॉट बिकॉज आई एम रिलीजियस बाय नेचर, but because when you have nothing, no job, no income, no one is calling you back, you're not asking for miracles. You are asking for buddhi, the strategic intelligence, wisdom to move forward when you can't see the path. Let me tell you how I got here. 30 years in corporate, marketing head, multi-million campaigns, multi-talented teams supported me while I was working, and every strategy I knew required one thing: resources. Money, team, time, budget, approvals. That's how the corporate works. You want to launch something? What's the budget? Who's the one who's going to handle the team? When the approval meeting is happening, strategy in corporate is actually equal to resource management. But when I walked out of my last job, not compromising on my self respect and the pride, no money, no team, no support, I got just silence. And honestly, first few months मुझे समझ में ही नहीं आया कि मैं कैसे एक्ट करूं. आई केप्ट ट्राइंग द कॉर्पोरेट वे, द कॉर्पोरेट स्ट्रैटेजीज, नेटवर्किंग, नो वन रिस्पॉन्डेड, एप्लीकेशंस, ऑटोमेटेड रिजेक्शंस, लिंक्डइन आउटरीच, सीन एंड इग्नोर्ड, व्हाट्सएप मैसेजेस, रेड, नॉट आंसर्ड, नथिंग वर्कड. Because corporate strategy assumes that you have something to work with, something to offer. At zero, you have nothing. And that's when 730 days of silence taught me. And that's when Hanuman Chalisa taught me. Strategy is not about having resources. Strategy is having buddhi when you have nothing to do. nothing else. Today's video is about strategy dimension. 90 degrees to 180 degrees is what I have explained. Strategy in my 360-degree circle, living journey as dimension. And I'm going to show you how and what Hanumanji proved as an ultimate strategist. About moving when no one was watching. As a ultimate strategist, Hanumanji taught me about building when you have nothing, about resourcefulness as a spiritual practice. Before I explain the strategy dimension, let me tell you another deity who's very close to my heart, Lord Ganesha. I just love him. Ganesha, the Vignaharta, the remover of obstacles. But here's what most people miss: Ganesha doesn't just remove obstacles, he teaches us how to see obstacles differently. When I was unemployed and my projects were fading away, that looked like an obstacle. When no one was hiring me, that looked like an obstacle. When I had no budget to start anything, that looked like an obstacle. But Ganesha's wisdom, it says the obstacle is the path. यह जो अड़चन आ रही है, यही रास्ता है आगे बढ़ने का, ध्यान से देखो. नो जॉब, दैट्स योर फ्रीडम टू बिल्ड समथिंग न्यू. एक नई खिड़की, एक नए दायरे में पैर रखो, आगे बढ़ो, हौसला करो. नो वन हायरिंग, दैट्स योर सिग्नल टू क्रिएट, नॉट अप्लाई. नो बजट, that's your teacher in resourcefulness. This is what I mean by strategy at zero. Not waiting for obstacles to disappear, but using them as your raw material. So, let me break down the strategy dimension into three principles. And I will show you how each one connects to what Hanuman and Ganesha actually taught me. I'm not teaching here religion. I'm sharing what worked for me. Your source might be different and your practices might be different. But the principles, they are universal. They don't change. The gurus could be different. The source could be different. So I'll break down into the principles what I learned from my Hanumanji and Ganesha. Principle number one, movement without validation. This comes from Hanumanji. In corporate, I moved when boss approved the plan, teams said everything is ready, budget was confirmed by the finance and the marketing and the vice president, stakeholders gave green light. It was validation first, movement second. But when Hanumanji actually flew across the ocean to find Sita, no one was watching him. No one was cheering. No one said, "Good job, halfway done." He moved because the mission was requiring him to move, not because he was looking forward for applause as a guarantee. At zero, no one is approving anything. No one is validating your plan. You move or you don't move. That's it. For 730 days, I moved without validation. Every morning, Hanuman Chalisa. Every day, job applications. And every week, learning a new skill. कोई नहीं देख रहा था. But I kept moving. That's the first frequency of strategy. Principle number two, resourcefulness over resources. This comes from Ganesha. In corporate, I always had resources: design team, agency support, professional tools, budget for everything. But Ganesha broke his own tusk to write the Mahabharata when the pen broke. He didn't wait for a new pen. He didn't say, "I can't write without tools." He used what he had, his own body, the broken part of his tusk which completed the Mahabharata. At zero, I didn't have a studio. I used my phone. I didn't have a team. I used YouTube tutorials. I didn't have a budget. So I used free tools and I learned them: Canva, CapCut. Resourcefulness means this is enough. Start now where you are, if you have or if you don't have. That's the second frequency. Number three, building when no one is watching. This comes from both Hanumanji and from Lord Ganesha. In corporate, everything had an audience: stakeholders meeting, team presentations, client reviews, performance evaluations, constant feedback, and constant visibility. But Hanuman built the bridge to Lanka stone by stone. Ganesha wrote in silence, no audience, just devotion. लेकिन हम इंसान, we run on validation, likes, comments, applause, appreciation, etc. etc. But if you need to build something on validation, you will stop. You will never start only. For 730 days, no one was watching me when I built my DNA framework. No LinkedIn congratulations, no WhatsApp proud of you. Just me, my practice, my devotion to the work. That's the third frequency, and it's the hardest one. Now, let me tell you what happened in those 730 days. I've been knowing and reciting Hanuman Chalisa from my childhood because my father was a great devotee and a follower of Hanumanji. He would visit the temples on every Tuesday and Saturday and he would fast. So from बचपन से मुझे हनुमान जी का चालीसा और हनुमान जी अट्रैक्ट करते थे बिकॉज ये सारे भगवान से एकदम अलग थे. ऑरेंज कलर, बूंदी भी मिलती थी मीठी प्रसाद में खाने के लिए एंड आई यूज टू लुक फॉरवर्ड. तो भगवान हनुमान के जो वर्सेस मैं इतने सालों से बोलती थी, जो मैंने सीखा था, actually in 730 days में I got an insight of the different side of the Hanuman Chalisa. It touched my soul when I deep dived. यह वर्स मेरी स्ट्रैटेजी बन गया, मेरी स्ट्रैटेजी टीचर बन गया. कैसे? ये कहता है, दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुमरे तेते. All the difficult tasks in the world become easy with your grace. Durgam, difficult, impossible. Sugam, easy, achievable. Strategy is the bridge between Durgam and Sugam. It is what makes the impossible possible. When I was doing my MBA, one of our teachers used to say, nothing is impossible in this world. And if you split the word impossible, यानी संधि विच्छेद करें, जैसे divide the word into different sections, impossible is I am possible. So word itself is saying I am possible, but not through magic, through method. काम करना पड़ेगा, रिसर्च करनी पड़ेगी, सीखना पड़ेगा, चमत्कार नहीं होगा. So building a YouTube channel with no budget, Durgam. But breaking it down, learning Canva, Sugam. Writing a script, Sugam. Filming on the phone, Sugam. Posting one video, Sugam. So Durgam becomes Sugam. When you stop looking at the mountain and start looking at the first stone, the foundation, that's what is strategy. That's what Hanuman did. Ocean crossing, Durgam. One leap, Sugam. Searching all over the Lanka, Durgam. But going one garden at one time, Sugam. So strategy at zero is not about grand plans. It's about what is the one next stone I can place. Rightly where. एक और वर्स है, जो राह दिखाता है, राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। You are the gatekeeper at Ram's door. No one can enter without your permission. It talks about boundaries, gatekeeper energy. In my challenging days, I learned not everything gets access to me, not every opinion, not every helpful advice from people who never built anything, not every comparison to others who had resources and I didn't. आप सेब को सेब से ही नापेंगे ना, when you are judging or when you are comparing, so you compare A with A, B with B. मेरा तो कंपैरिजन ही गलत हो रहा था। खैर, ये भी एक लर्निंग है। So in corporate, everyone had access to my time, meetings, emails, approvals, requests. But at zero, you become the gatekeeper of your own mind. Strategy requires protecting your mental space. Hanuman guards Ram's door, you guard your own. एक और वर्स याद आ रहा है। मैं हनुमान चालीसा रिसाइट नहीं कर रही हूँ, बट दिस इज व्हाट आई लर्नड। तो जो सीखा वही बताऊंगी आपको। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो पावे। यह वर्स एम्फेसाइज करता है दैट प्रोटेक्शन इजंट जस्ट अबाउट पैसिव प्रेयर, इट रिक्वायर्स अलाइनमेंट, मन, माइंड, क्रम, एक्शंस, वचन, स्पीच। मन, योर इटर्नल थॉट्स, they should be steady. Actions, your physical deeds should be right. Speech, the words which you speak should be truthful, kind. Thoughts, words, and actions all brought together in alignment serves a higher purpose in one's life. Man, Kram, Vachan, mind, action, word, all three aligned. That's high frequency strategy. What you think, what you do, and what you say. No internal conflict, no self sabotaging, no, I wasn't this, but I'm doing that. No excuses. 730 दिन में मेरा मन, mind, I'm building this channel. Action, I filmed, I learned, I post, I studied. Word, I tell no one until it exists. Alignment, स्ट्रैटेजी का मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप सब कुछ करो, सब बताओ। स्ट्रैटेजी का मतलब कभी ये भी होता है कीप साइलेंस, क्वाइट। ज़रूरी नहीं है हल्ला मचाना। मैंने भी वही किया। 730 दिन के साइलेंस पे मैं भी थोड़ा साइलेंट हो गई। सो व्हाट डिड एक्चुअली इट लुक्ड लाइक एवरी मॉर्निंग। जब मैं उठती थी तो पहली थिंग, ना चाय ना फ़ोन, हनुमान चालीसा, Alexa, and she starts. Good days, bad days doesn't matter. Days when I felt hopeful about a job interview, or days when I actually got a rejection email once again. Days when I didn't want to get up out of my bed, feeling lazy, just being myself. Every single morning, Hanuman Chalisa. I will forget, but Alexa won't. Then I would sit at my work desk, जो कि मेरा डाइनिंग टेबल कन्वर्टेड टू वर्क डेस्क, जब हम खाना नहीं खाते। फर्स्ट थिंग बिफोर जॉब एप्लीकेशंस आई वुड डू द गणेशा प्रेयर। वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्न कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। विघ्नहर्ता, तुम ही तो हो जो मेरे ऑब्स्टिकल्स मेरे माइंड से हटाओगे। तुम ही तो हो जो मुझे जानते हो बचपन से। यू आर अनएम्प्लॉयबल, आई डोंट वॉन्ट दिस इन माई माइंड। तुम ही मेरे विघ्न को हरोगे, ये मैं अपने गणेश जी से कहती थी। रिमूव दीज थॉट्स, लेट मी सी क्लियरली वेयर आई एम गोइंग। तो 2 घंटे जॉब एप्लीकेशंस, एंड आई एम स्टिल डूइंग इट स्ट्रैटेजिकली पैरेलली, बिकॉज प्लान ए एंड प्लान बी दोनों होने चाहिए लाइफ में। 2 घंटे मैं लर्निंग करती हूँ, कैनवा, कैपकट, यूट्यूब ट्यूटोरियल्स। 2 घंटे मैं स्क्रिप्ट राइटिंग करती हूँ। वैसे तो ज़्यादा मेहनत नहीं करनी पड़ती क्योंकि ये मेरी रियल लाइफ स्टोरीज है, but of course you really need to draft when I'm talking to so many people every day for months, no one watching, no validation, just the practice. But the universe was watching me, और मैं खुद अपने आप को देख रही थी। मेरा खुद का वैलिडेशन मुझे चाहिए था, दूसरों का नहीं। फर्स्ट वीडियो फिल्म्ड ऑन फोन, इट वॉज इमोशनल, आई डू अंडरस्टैंड, आई couldn't stop crying, but I didn't edit and I posted it. I didn't want fake Archana. I am real, what I am, and I showed it. I waited. You know what happened? 500 plus views, 38 likes, 22 comments. ये मेरा अचीवमेंट था। वायरल नहीं हुआ, बट सुगम, दुर्गम से सुगम पर आई। अच्छा लगा। Real people, real engagement, real proof that movement without validation works. Resourcefulness over resources works. Building when no one is watching works. The impossible task, building something with nothing, becomes possible through buddhi, through devotion, through daily practice. I learned it. ऐसा नहीं था कि मुझे मालूम नहीं था, लेकिन एक इंसाइट, फिर से करने की चाहत फिर से जागी, एंड आई रियलाइज्ड कि हनुमान चालीसा wasn't just a prayer, it was a strategy manual for me. बुद्धि, strategic intelligence, बल, strength to persist, vidya, knowledge through learning. All three I received not as a miracle, as a daily discipline. ये चैनल जो आप इस समय देख रहे हैं, ये उन्हीं 730 दिन की हनुमान चालीसा, वही 730 दिन की गणेश की गाइडेंस, 730 दिन का साइलेंस जो एम्प्टी था और जिसने मुझे फोर्स किया अपने अंदर झांकने के लिए। इट वॉज फुल ऑफ डिवोशन, स्ट्रैटेजी एंड बिल्डिंग, एंड आई एम रियली थैंकफुल दैट आई लर्नड। नाउ द कंप्लीट माई DNA फ्रेमवर्क। कॉर्पोरेट में क्या हुआ, क्या ज़रूरत थी, क्या चाहिए, और पर्सनल लाइफ में स्ट्रैटेजी कैसे mYdNA फ्रेमवर्क में हर जगह आ रही है। तो नॉट जस्ट वन डायमेंशन, ऑल ऑफ इट। mYdNA, mYdNA, mYdNA का फ्रेमवर्क। इस स्टोरी से क्या मिलता है आपको? M मतलब मी, हम्बल, the persistent, the permanent me self, who you are with nothing. When I lost my job or I walked out, the title was gone, but me, I'm still there. The person knew how to pray, the person who knew how to learn and start from zero. That's your foundation. It was me. Second, you. Again, आप नहीं, यू, वो अर्चना जो एक्टिवेटेड थी, जो टेम्पररी रोल था, टेम्पररी टाइटल था। आई वॉज मैनी टाइम यू इन माई 730 days. Student, learning new skills, job applicant for searching for jobs, creator when I was building the content, teacher, sharing framework. Different activated versions were available, but same me underneath, same Archana praying on a daily basis, living the life at zero. We come to D, the dimensions. They are given the 4 pillars: soul, strategy, success, and spirituality. Soul 0 to 90 degree defined है, Hanuman Chalisa every morning, remembering who I am. Strategy 90 to 180 degrees. 3 frequencies we covered today. Success 180 degree to 270 degrees. 500 से ज़्यादा का views, portable value proof. Spirituality 270 to 360 degrees. Seeing 730 days as formation, not as punishment. All 4 were operating simultaneously, और हर किसी की लाइफ में चारों पिलर एक साथ काम करते हैं, इसीलिए तो लाइफ सर्कल है। मैंने कहा था लाइफ सर्कल है, चारों पिलर एक साथ काम करते हैं, एक भी डायमेंशन टूटा तो तीनों डायमेंशन उसको फोल्ड करते हैं। सो MYD हो गया N, न्यूक्लियस, द कोड, what got permanently written into my DNA. Through 730 days, I got coded. I can move without approval. I can build from nothing. I trust the process even when I can't see the results. That's cellular now. कोई जॉब लॉस इसको इरेज नहीं कर सकता। अब आते हैं A of my DNA, architecture, built what you deliberately construct. What I did, I constructed my framework. I came up with my channel. I learned new skills. That's architecting myself at 0 degrees to rebuild. Built stone by stone, one practice at a time. So all 5 letters, they take you from 0 degree to 360 degree. So if you are at 0 degrees now, or you are not having any job, no clear path, no one is calling you back, chill. Remember, corporate strategies require resources, but strategy at 0 requires something else. One, movement without validations. Don't wait for any permission. Don't wait for applause. Move because the mission requires it. Hanumanji didn't get any validation halfway across when he was in the ocean. Neither will you. Move anyway. Second, resourcefulness over resources. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need a studio, a team, or a budget. Ganesha broke the tusk. He completed the Mahabharata. Use what you have. Start afresh now. थर्ड, बिल्ड व्हेन नो वन इज वॉचिंग। क्या जरूरत है सबको दिखाने की कि हम क्या कर रहे हैं? बिल्ड, यू आर वॉचिंग योर सेल्फ, दैट्स इंपॉर्टेंट, नो वैलिडेशन रिक्वायर्ड। दिस इज द हार्डेस्ट वन, हम नहीं कर पाते। यू विल बिल्ड इन साइलेंस, नो लाइक्स, नो कमेंट्स, नो वैलिडेशन, इट्स ओके, नहीं चाहिए। अपना काम करो, जिंदगी में आगे बढ़ो, because the building itself has value regardless of any audience. I learned it, and I'm sure if you practice, you would also learn. Next video is about success dimension, 180 degree to 70 degree, 270 degree defined in my 360 degree circle. When your value becomes portable. One more thing before we wrap up today, this week I actually launched something parallel to my YouTube channel. It's called Archana360 Degree Unfiltered on Instagram and TikTok. This YouTube channel is where I share the professional journey with my framework of mYdNA, how to rebuild from zero professionally. But Archana 360 Degree Unfiltered is all about personal life journey, not private, personal life journey and the lessons from the personal life journey I have learned. The daily movements, the small lessons, real life experiences. YouTube, professional framework, content, longer videos, deep teaching. Instagram, TikTok, shorter videos, still lessons sharing. So please subscribe Instagram, TikTok to be connected for the short insights and YouTube for the longer insights. Follow Archana 360 Degrees on Instagram and mYdNA Rediscovering on TikTok for the unfiltered personal journey. Subscribe if this resonates with you. Comment which principle hit hardest. मूवमेंट्स, रिसोर्सफुलनेस और बिल्डिंग आपको क्या अच्छा लगा? लाइक एंड शेयर करें ताकि ये बहुत सारे लोगों तक पहुँचे। किसी एक को शायद मेरी इस इंसाइट से कुछ फ़ायदा हो। दैट्स व्हाट इज़ माय मोटो। योर जर्नी फॉर 360 degree begins and it would continue with me 1 degree at a time. Thank you so much for being here. See you in video 5.